Good day, and greetings to the valued listeners of our program. Let's now tune into a brief story that we'd like to share with you, featuring the life experiences of a doctor we'll refer to as Amara. Hello, I'm Amara, a 37-year-old doctor working in a hospital here in Thailand. I specialize in surgery, and it was through my profession that I met my husband Roger, who is an anesthesiologist. We often work together as partners during hospital operations, so you can say we're frequently in each other's company. Throughout our 7 years as a married couple, my husband has never fallen short of being there for me. We have 2 children attending excellent schools. And despite his busy work schedule, my husband never forgets to shower me with affection. Even when we're together at home, he consistently greets me during my duty, surprising me with hugs and kisses after work. And I couldn't ask for more, and I am genuinely happy in the arms of my spouse. When it comes to our intimate moments, we remain active. Although, due to our demanding jobs, it can't be said to be as frequent as before. We've grown accustomed to it, and I find satisfaction in my husband, even with his daddy body, thanks to his regular exercise routine. Similarly, I prioritize fitness for myself, ensuring my body stays in good shape. One of my standout features is having an appealing figure, especially in the abdominal area. Even though my front and back shape are just right, my husband insists that my hotness truly radiates because of the curves of my waist, and sometimes I can't avoid having secret admirers. I'm not a goddess of beauty, but a few times I've heard people say I resemble you, and I just laugh it off. There are those who leave messages at my office and send flowers, gifts, and emails, knowing well that they're in the hospital. It's rare for me to have a suitor among the patients or their companions, but they're aware that I'm already married. Yet some still persist. I'm incredibly content with my husband, and I wouldn't ask for anything more. After a lengthy and exhausting surgery, my husband and I decided to take a short break in the surgical wards lounge area. The patient's condition was somewhat critical, and our operation finished late into the night. Feeling tired, I didn't bother removing my hairnet as I sat on the brown sofa, staring at the TV, although I couldn't comprehend what was on. Roger approached me, holding a bottle of iced tea. He sat beside me, kissing me on the forehead while I was still sweaty. Closing my eyes felt so good. I pressed the cool bottle of iced tea against the side of my head. My husband asked,
"Is your head hurting?"
I replied, "A bit. I got stressed with that intern earlier. It took so long to close a vein. I have no idea where that kid studied." My mouth started babbling again, but it was just stress from dealing with that intern.
Extend your patience a bit more, honey. The kid lacks experience. We've all been through that, right? It's just a stress, honey.
We continued our rest, and suddenly, someone entered the room where we were taking a break in the hospital.
Hello, Doc. Can I get in? I just need to grab some trash real quick.
Rico said as he entered the lounge area, our floor's janitor.
Oh, perfect timing, Rico. Come over here. I need something from you.
Roger said, and the young man approached.
What's up, Doc?
Rico had a well-built body, a tan complexion, and expressive eyes, though he had a few pimples. It's inevitable to have some acne with the kind of job he does.
Oh, honey, this is Rico. He's great at giving massages. Why don't you let him give you one to help you relax a bit?
I was surprised by Roger's suggestion, and I told him, "It's okay, hon, I can handle it."
No, honey, I think you needed a good massage.
Why don't you be the one to give me a massage, hon? I even proposed the idea to my husband.
Hun, we're both exhausted and besides, I plan to get a massage from Rico after you. Is that all right with you, Rico?
That's perfectly fine, sir. I'm not tired from work yet.
I noticed that Rico glancing at my chest. I said, all right, but Rico, could you please take a shower first? There's a bit of a sour smell. I'll wait for you here, okay?
Wait a moment. I'll be right back.
He just glanced at me, and Roger smiled. I could sense a slightly embarrassed tone before he left. Well, I don't want to sugarcoat it. That's my scent when it comes to him.
Here we go again with your grumpiness, hun.
But I did notice an unpleasant odor, hun. I also don't want my office to smell like vinegar. After 20 minutes, Rico returned, and I could still smell his budget cologne. I just let it be. At least he seemed presentable. Roger accompanied me to my office, followed by Rico. It was already 8 p.m., and we needed to have dinner. My office had a small bed, so I arranged a curtain for a bit of privacy. My husband took a seat on the sofa beside the curtain and turned on the TV. Do you have massage oil, Rico?
Yes, but it's just a cheap one, Doc.
All right now, go ahead and turn around. Rico followed suit. I hung my white coat on the side of my chair, and I even removed my blouse. I was still wearing a skirt and black stockings, but I didn't take them off. I lay my face down on the bed. Okay, Rico, I'm ready now.
Just the back, Doc?
Include my shoulders and arms too.
Sure thing.
Rico could see my smooth back, and I felt his warm palms gliding over my back. He first spread the oil on my skin, and then started massaging my upper back. Rico's massage was rough and a bit heavy on me, and I couldn't help but take deep breaths. His massage is surprisingly good, even though he doesn't have formal training. I closed my eyes and let him work his magic.
It's already done, Doc.
Oh, finished. That seemed quick.
You fell asleep, Doc. You probably felt like it was just a moment. But it's done. How do you feel now?
I started feeling a bit cold on my back. Thankfully, I felt more comfortable and lighter. I stood up, covered my chest with my clothes, and looked at Roger. It looks like my husband has already fallen asleep on the sofa, but the TV is still on. How long have I been asleep, Rico?
Probably about half an hour, Doc.
I felt that my legs were a bit heavy and somewhat sore. I guess I have some time, and I'm not too hungry either. Well, Rico, can you massage my feet? They're a bit sore from standing too much. Don't worry, I'll compensate you later. And I'm so sorry for bothering you.
That's perfectly fine, Doc. I have no issues at all.
All right, you can go out for a moment, and I'll just remove my stockings. Rico went behind the curtain, and that's when I lifted my skirt and took off my stockings. I put on my blouse again and lay back down on the bed. I'm ready, Rico.
Okay, Doc.
He started applying oil to my left foot, where he positioned himself. He squeezed and stretched my foot, just like earlier. I felt the clouds with every rough touch of his hands. I closed my eyes again and savored the relaxing massage from Rico on my feet. Until I realized that his hands had climbed up to my knees. But he stopped when he reached the edge of my skirt and went back down. He focused his work again on my feet, and I found myself relaxed by the events. However, I slightly woke up when he gradually reached under my skirt. I let out a brief, suppressed voice, almost telling him to stop, as his actions became somewhat daring. Still, I allowed it because I couldn't deny the liveliness it brought to me. Once again, Rico's touch escalated, and that's when I started feeling uneasy. What is this, reaching the middle of my thigh? I couldn't help but express my concern. Rico, your hands seem to be going to high.
Oh, apologies, Doc.
Suddenly, he paused, spending what felt like minutes on my thigh. I sensed him shifting and approaching my waist as I lay face down. My hands relaxed on the side of my body. Then, to my surprise, Rico pressed the front of his shorts against me, catching me off guard. My heart raced, but I allowed him to indulge, even with my husband asleep just behind the curtain. Rico attempted to reach for something I held close, hidden within my clothes, but I resisted. Okay, Rico, why don't you switch to the other side? I suggested, my voice slightly trembling. Unsure of what to say, I was genuinely nervous. I should have stopped Rico then and there, but what came out of my mouth was the complete opposite. I ended up instructing him to switch to the other leg. Rico shifted positions, and just like before, he pressed his front against my hand at the side of my body. I tried to ignore his foot massage, focusing on him instead. Seriously, this young guy has some nerve. He looks like he's in his early 20s, if I'm not mistaken. He was wearing thin shorts, and I could distinctly feel the weight of it. Surprisingly, he seemed a bit nervous too. But I couldn't resist the sudden urge to touch him. I suppose Rico caught on that I was getting heated. With no shame, he abruptly parted my legs. Oh my, this is a mistake. Why am I letting him do these things to me? But why do I want to indulge him? Before long, I couldn't stop Rico as he slid aside my delicate undergarments and positioned himself in front of me. I felt him lower the zipper of his trousers. I looked at him. Our eyes met. I bit my lip, and he smiled back. I closed my eyes again, at that point allowing him to take me entirely. While my husband slept just behind the curtain, oblivious to the unfolding miracle. Unbelievably. Never in my dreams did I think I would give in to a janitor's advances. I wrapped my legs around Rico's waist, and at that moment, I experienced our union almost shouting in ecstasy. I let him possess me relentlessly, the forceful back and forth in our positions. You know, my husband is just behind the curtain. I whispered to him, but he didn't respond. He just showed me that he was even more eager. It was my first time betraying my husband. And even if I didn't want to admit it, Rico had the upper hand over my spouse. I got off the bed and glanced at Roger, who was lying on his side with his back to us, still asleep. I didn't realize that Rico had approached me again and embraced and pulled me closer. Rico, no, that is enough.
You look sexy, Doctor. I've been dreaming of this for a long time.
No, we can't, Rico. You know, I'm married. However, he still lifted my clothing to possess me again. I wanted to let out a voice that seemed intoxicated with desire. But I couldn't. My husband would wake up, and he would find out that I gave into the hospital janitor. I bit my lip, trying not to scream.
Hun,
Shit, it's Roger. Quickly, I composed myself as Roger stood up. Looking at me through the curtain, he smiled, sweat dripping, thinking we were done.
oh, you're finished. My turn.
I mumbled to him, "Hun, can you get me a bottled water, please?" That's all I managed to say, my mind a blank. Roger left my office, heading down to the ground floor where the hospital's food court was located. I didn't think much about it. I just let my husband go. I was left alone with Rico. I looked at him, and he pulled me closer, and once again, we responded to each other. I laid my head on the bed, allowing him to have me entirely. Just for one night, I let him do everything, even attempting to kiss me afterward. But I stopped him. My lips are reserved for my husband. I believe you've already grasped what you desire. I allowed you to have me tonight, but this will be the last time. Now, clean up our mess, okay?
All right, Doc.
Roger arrived and found Rico already cleaning the floor. Rico cleaned up the traces of our wrongdoing. I was just sitting on the sofa, watching TV. Roger handed me a glass of water with a smile.
How was the massage?
It was good. I even glanced at Rico. He was just facing away from me.
Oh, maybe I'll postpone my massage for next time. Sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem, sir.
So, hun, shall we?
Roger invited me to dinner. I smiled and kissed him on the lips. Let's go, hon. I didn't expect to be carried away by my weakness. Do I regret it? I don't know. I enjoyed it. Should I confess to my husband about what happened? Of course not. But will it happen again? I can't say yet. I don't know what the future holds. But one thing is certain, I am different now than I was before. A peculiar thirst has awakened within me. That's where my story ends. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of ReaLife Narratives. If you enjoyed the program, please subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated about our latest videos. At ReaLife Narratives, every story deserves to be heard, and we're here to share them with you. Bye.